What's up, guys? I'm Jake McGee. I'm here at the Prime Sports Midwest Bat Demo Day right here, proud sponsor of Youth Baseball Midwest.
Tell me your name.
My name is Bryce Rosen.
So what's that first bat you got there, buddy?
It's the Super Louisville Slugger.
What did you think of that one?
I like it. It has a thick barrel and it has a long barrel.
Young bat you were seeing?
The new 2026 Green Zen has a shorter barrel, but when it has the sweet spot, it's thicker, but you can hit the barrel. The barrel's long on here, so you can hit the barrel more. You can hit the barrel anywhere on the bat.
Do you know which one you like best?
Yeah, the Supra. You're welcome.
It's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one.
Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son. Jackson, of course, they keep reaching. One still is a hit by pitch. Oh my. Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for this edition of YBMcast Baseball Talk, powered by our good friends at Game 7 Baseball. Game7baseball.com. We're looking forward to another great season with our partners at Game 7 Baseball. The schedule is up. It's there for you. You can go check it out. Even if you're not really, ready to just jump in all the way, hey, you can go check it out all the way over to Tennessee, over into Illinois, down south, into St. John and Cape Girardeau area, over to Boonville this year. Ballparks Central. New facility. They're going to be in Columbia again. Ballparks of America and the Biggie down at Springfield, Missouri. Got some new fields down there with those guys. New turf. Looking forward to it. Check out our Super 7 series as well. You can go to youthbaseballmidwest.com. Go to the youth baseball page. Check out our Super 7 series. All the tournaments that Youth Baseball Midwest will be at. We'll be with our Saturday at the park. We'll be live streaming the 14U Championship, both semifinals and the championship game on Sunday. Don't miss it. We're going to have a good time out there. Make sure you go visit game7baseball.com. Hey, make sure you tell Dave and Dave that Brian over at YBM sent you, okay? You can also follow us on our social media, X at YBM_cast, IG and Facebook, Youth Baseball Midwest. Make sure you're subscribed. Subscribe, please. Like, too. Those things help the algorithms, help get it out. We appreciate it greatly. And it gives us an opportunity to bring great guests on like today. We have on the Prime Sports Call Link head coach at Jackson High School, Coach Roach. Coach, good to see you.
Yes, sir. It's good to be here, and I always enjoy our conversations. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Folks, one of the best venues in baseball. Kevin Mulder kept telling me about this, kept telling me, you got to go down to Jackson. I was like, okay, all right, we're going to do this. We finally did. We went down for a CBC game, and he was right. Fantastic venue. The people were fantastic, friendly. Everybody was helpful. We're going to be heading back down there again this year. Hopefully, we're going to get another matchup. I was looking at your schedule, Coach, and I think we might have to run down there for another CBC encounter.
Okay, yeah, that'll be great. That's always later in the year, but that's always brings out a good crowd, and we usually have our tribe night that night, and it's got a bunch of little kids run around, future Jackson baseball Indians, so we have a great time with it.
Gotta love it. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. I love that place. The venue's great. It gives it a big time feel, and your fans are are fantastic. They, and I think that's huge within sometimes making sure that the community and how you get those things together. What are some of the things that you guys do, or is it just Jackson in general, but to keep the folks and the community energized with the baseball program?
Well, that's a really good question, and to be honest with you, we're just blessed here in Jackson. Jackson takes a lot of pride in all of their sports, and baseball's no different. There's a really great baseball culture here in Jackson, and the fans just come out and support. They're behind their athletes. They love their athletics, and getting fans out to the game is been one problem that we haven't had. So it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. They come out. They like to watch their high schoolers compete, and it's usually a great time and a great environment, and we're blessed. We have a good fan base here in Jackson for sure.
You've also had some serious amount of talent coming through your program, and Coach, you've got some kids again this year. I think you're sitting on top of that, maybe under the radar a bit this year, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree a little bit. We do have a lot of talented guys coming through the system right now. We have a very strong senior class. We also have a really strong junior class, and there's going to be some guys that fly onto the radar this year that, kind of like, where did this guy come from? But it's exciting. I think we have as a coaching staff, we talk quite a bit, and we feel like we have the pieces that we need to get deep into a playoff situation. As long as everybody stays healthy, as long as everybody does what they're capable of, we feel like we have a good shot to make another good run.
There you go. I want to do this. We've been doing some of these things. We talk about players that fly under the radar and things like this. I've been doing trivia questions because I really enjoy trivia, and it's always fun.
Yes.
Challenge your brain and whatnot. I'll ask you. We'll reveal the answer at the end of the show, but how many different positions did Jose Oquendo play for the Cardinals?
Oh, my. Jose Oquendo. He was the utility man. He did it all. How many different positions? Oh, let's say, I'm just going to take a guess here. Let's say he played, 5 different positions.
All right. You guess down below. Put your comment down there, and we'll reveal it at the end of the show. I love that. He was, man. He was, the Swiss Army knife of
yes.
I mean, whatever you needed, he just could do it. And
yes,
I don't know if is he still with the organization? Is he still coaching somewhere in there?
That I don't know. I know he was not too long ago. If he's not now, it wasn't long ago.
Yeah. All right, Coach. We got a lot of times, we're up here in the St. Louis metro area. We've got, a lot of schools, GAC, the St. Louis Suburban, the MCC, of course, you play a lot of these. I noticed you got the Edwardsville folks coming over this year.
Yes.
To play, which I love that. That is a fantastic matchup. Coach Funkhauser.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Edwardsville coming down. We played him a few years ago at Bush, but I've never played him in the regular season. A regular game in the regular season. And I just shot him a message, just did he'd be interested. And he was like, well, yeah, that'd be great. He's like, we're going to be coming. I think they're coming back from Memphis. And he's like, we'll just stop by and play a doubleheader on a Saturday. So I was like, perfect. That sounds great to me. So
we're going to be in Memphis anyway. We'll just play some baseball.
Yeah, why not? That's kind of how I am, though. I like that about Coach Funkhauser. He's just like, I'll play. He's like, I'll play anybody, anywhere. So I like that.
The Jackson is a Class 6 school down there. but surrounding you. And one of the unique things about like the SEMO conference that you play in, I even think Poplar Bluff went down to Class 5 this past year, if I'm not mistaken.
They did, yes.
And so there's not a lot of big schools around you.
Yes.
And the SEMO conference, how do you guys handle that and create opportunities for your program and keep yourself sharp in those respects?
Yes, that is a great question. That is definitely a challenge that we face every year. Being a big school in a rural area, where there's not a whole lot of other big schools around you, so we have to travel a lot. We have to convince bigger teams to come over or come down and play us a lot. The good thing is we put a good product out on the field. The kids, man, they work hard, and there's a lot of talent. And it's easier to convince those bigger schools to come down and play you when they know they're going to come down and it's going to be a great environment. It's going to be a very competitive game, and we've done a good job of that. So the word's kind of getting out that Jackson baseball is a talented program, and they're going to give you a good game. And like you said earlier, the environment is going to be a great place to play. I've been working with my contacts in Illinois and Kentucky and working on getting schools, kind of connections with them as well, where we can go play some bigger schools over there. And McCracken County is one of the schools in Kentucky that we are working back and forth with, and it's a challenge. We have to be willing to travel a lot, which that's just part of our culture. Really, it's just how all of our athletics work. It's just part of it. To be honest with you, I think it makes us a little bit tougher because we have to. Everything's just a little more difficult, It's but we've come a long way with and the SEMO conference has been better the past few years. So the competition in that has been a lot better. So we're excited about competing in that every year. There'll be some pretty solid teams again in the spring in the SEMO conference that we're going to have to play well against to be able to beat. So that helps out for sure. But yeah,
your kids are getting an education about what it'll be like in college, having to do homework on the bus, right?
Yes, that's one of my goals is to prepare them for college sports, and there's one of them.
You ain't kidding, man. SEMO Conference, Cape Central down in Cape Girardeau.
Yes.
I've watched them a little bit. They've got some guys and whatnot. Where do you see that program at this point?
I think they're going to be solid again in the spring. They have a lefty. Chapman Ogles is his name. He throws the ball really well. They'll always have a pretty good chance to win when he's on the mound. They got Jathan Spain, who's another big name for them. I don't know if he'll pitch or not for him in the spring. I know he was a big, projected really big arm when he was a little bit younger, and he's battled a few injuries, but they'll have those two guys along with a couple other key players on their team, and they should be pretty competitive, pretty solid. So we'll have to play well once again when we go up against them in our regular season conference game. So we'll be looking forward to that. It'll be a good matchup.
Now, do you guys, when you play your conference schedule, Poplar Bluff is kind of in the middle of like nowhere. And,
yes, exactly.
And, they have to travel. You guys have to travel. Are you playing Poplar Bluff there? Do you play them home and home, or do you usually just do it on a go there basis and they come splitting up over the year?
How we have it set up, how we've done it for several years now is we'll play one regular season game with them, and it'll be either at our place or we just kind of flip flop year to year. So I believe they will be coming to our place this spring because I'm pretty sure we went there last year if I remember correct. We did, we did go there last year. We just met as a conference, and we're going to kind of rework our conference schedule a little bit to where maybe do a few different things and maybe play more than just once once in the regular season. But haven't really decided on that yet. But there are some things in the work. But right now, it's basically we'll go there 1 year, they'll come to us, and we'll just kind of flip flop back and forth. So,
Gotcha. What do you think of the Mules down there at Poplar Bluff? They had a pretty decent season last year. They've been, just from afar and just, seeing stuff here and there, the records are pretty solid. But, where do you see them stacking up here in Class 5?
Yeah, I think they're actually going to have some talented kids in their crew. They were a little bit young last year, and my son plays he's going to play summer ball with the Adidas Athletics next summer, and a few of his teammates are kids from Poplar Bluff, and we got to watch him a little bit this fall as he played a fall league with them up there, and they got some kids that can play, so they should hold their own pretty well down there in Bluff. So there'll be another one for us that we're gonna have to play well. We have to play well to end out on the right side anyway.
Yeah. That's two of those Class 5 teams. Cape Central, Poplar Bluff, probably end up in the same district, I would imagine, too.
They could, yes, they could, depending on how it all irons out. But yes, they could.
Yeah.
So that'll be two pretty solid teams, and that district. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And Class 5, these are the things. I thought it was down a little bit last year. I think that it'll be back. There was some Platte County at the top. I think Class 5 was really, really strong. Teams that probably could compete with a lot of Class 6 schools and did throughout the season. But at the bottom of it, it was a little rougher. I think we're going to see that come back a little bit. And I think with these two teams, what you're talking about, I think we're going to see a resurgence down there because Festus has dominated District 1.
Yes.
And, Farmington's coming up there a little bit. So do you see a Cape or Poplar Bluff competing at that level with those two teams?
I think they do have. I think Bluff, is probably maybe a little closer than Cape right now. I think Cape has some good pieces. They need to add some more around those pieces. I think Poplar Bluff is probably a little more balanced than that. Probably will have a little better chance of competing against the Festuses and the Farmingtons but yeah, they're both going in the right direction. I think Bluff is probably just a touch closer, in my opinion.
Okay. Because that's some really good schools. Farmington's got some kids coming back that I think they're going to be really good again because they had some juniors last year, and I think they gave Festus all they wanted.
Yes.
And, and Festus got some arms coming back again this year. They're always – Coach Montgomery he seems to, again, it's one of those programs every year you kind of go, well, what have they got? And it's like, oh, boom, there they are.
Yeah, you're right. They always have guys get the job done and they compete. They play. They just play good baseball. They're well coached.
You guys have them on your schedule pretty much every year, don't you? Festus?
We usually do. Yeah, we have. We actually don't have them in this spring. I decided to go to a tournament because we usually start. Well, the past couple of years we start out the season. They do like a little round robin up there to start the season out, but I got us into a tournament at St. Charles West. We haven't played in that one before yet. I looked at the line or the list of schools in there, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty solid one to start out with anyway.
So we're going to have to come over and say howdy because that's just right.
I'd love to, yeah.
That's just right down the road from our studio, Coach.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll be there. That's how we open our season, so we'll be there.
Yep, Coach Allen. They do a good job. That is a good, solid tournament. So, and you guys were up here it was a year before. I think you were up for the Troy. Did you play in the Troy Classic?
Yes, we my first two seasons we played in the Troy tournament, and that's what it was. Last year we played Festus to open up the season, and this year we're gonna try the St. Charles West. So see how that's all plays out.
Very good, very good. Well, the other schools in here, and I believe Dexter, Kennett. I know Dexter's Class 4.
Yes,
They were last year. Sykeston, are they a Class 4 squad as well?
I believe they are as well, and I think Canada is also a Class 4 if I
Yeah,
remember correctly. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure they are. Yes.
And so the two schools that are the smallest are New Madrid County and Notre Dame, correct?
Well, Notre Dame would be the one of the smallest, and New Madrid actually dropped out of the conference, and Kelly High School was added. And Kelly, I think, is a Class 3 school, if I'm correct. I don't know off the top of my head, but Notre Dame and Kelly would probably be the two small schools. Yes,
Okay, yeah. I've heard. I saw Kelly. They're a pretty decent program, small school, whatnot. They've had some success.
they are. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, they have some kids that can play.
Yeah. As a conference, do you guys look for that? Or is there, I know there's not just a ton of movement in and out and whatnot, but if you have a team moving out, how does that process work? How do you bring another team in?
Well, and if I'm correct, I think there's kind of an application process if you're wanting to get into the conference. You have to apply, and it has to be approved by the SEMO conference committee, and that's kind of how the process works. And basically, Kelly knew that New Madrid was going to be dropping out of the conference, so they knew that we would be looking for a team to add. Kelly's been in the conference in the past, and they decided that they wanted to get back into it, and they're always a good opponent, so I'm happy to see them back in there.
Very good. SEMO, who's going to win it this year, Coach?
Well, I hope we do.
I figured that'd be your answer.
Yeah, I hope. I feel like we have the parts, the pieces, and the parts to do it. So we just got to get the guys moving in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And we'll be tough to beat if we're doing things right.
I think so. Looking at some of these kids, I've always enjoyed your program. Last year it was fun because we got a chance to talk with and do a player spotlight with Cooper Rhodes.
Oh yeah, he's a great one.
He was
He's a great one.
He's just an interesting young man to talk to, and you can see why he's successful, right?
Yes.
And
yes, he is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say you're exactly right. He is. I miss him already. He was a wonderful leader. He was an amazing young man. He had a tremendous work ethic. He was the kind of player that we talk about leaving a legacy and what kind of impact do you want to have on the program, once you're no longer in it. And he's the example of the type of player that left a phenomenal legacy of hard work, dedication, being a great teammate, being a great leader, doing things the right way, leaving that kind of legacy to the kids from, behind him. They're like, hey, I want to be like Cooper Rhodes. And he was a lot of fun to coach. Just a great all around kid and a great baseball player. And now he's playing D1 ball up at Evansville. So I'm excited for him up there.
Talk to us about the young man, Mr. Bogenpole.
Yes.
These are, that's what I'm saying. I don't think people know this Jackson High School. This young man played for you. We saw him back when we came over to CBC. You guys came up and played CBC
Yes.
at their house. It's the first time, and just talented young man. That's not something you see every day come through your program, is it?
No. He's one of those rare guys that you hear about, but you never, rarely get to coach. And I was, blessed with the opportunity to be with him for 1 year as his head coach. I was with him for 2 years, but I was not in the role I was in with him as a senior. Just one of those kids, just a rare talent. He can do a lot of things at a really high level, but also had a lot of intangibles. Really great athlete, but also, worked extremely hard. Was a good teammate. Was very coachable. Was like he loved baseball. He loved the game, and he was always just hungry to learn more. Very humble for the level of talent that he had or that he has. He's just one of those kids that you don't get the opportunity to coach many kids like that. So for me, being able to have that opportunity, it's something I'll always cherish that, because he was a great kid to coach and extremely talented.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Who's some of the kids that from this coming squad, junior, senior, that you think could step into a role like what those guys, like a Rhodes and a Bogenpole, were for their squads?
Yeah, definitely. We have position player wise, I have a few names on my list here that I have of a couple guys that I think are going to step up and step into and have the ability to be significant leaders, and also kind of leaving a legacy of like, hey, this is how we do things at Jackson High School, and also play the game at a really high level. We got a young man. He's a junior this year. He's actually been at the varsity level he came up as a freshman. He kind of spot started as a freshman, kind of getting his feet wet a little bit. And he was our starting third baseman last year. Also pitched for us a little bit. His name's Grant Brown. He struggled at the plate last year. Definitely didn't have the offensive year that he wanted, but just was lights out defensively. One of the best third basemen I've coached, and he did a great job defensively. So if we can get him to get it all together, and he also has a lot of talent from the mound that is going to be showcased this spring. He'll get a lot of innings from the mound for us. So he's a two-way guy that has the chance to be a game changer for us if he can get everything going in the right direction, for sure. Another guy on the mound that was kind of we turned him into a closer last year. He's a senior for us this year. Been working extremely hard, and I see him playing a very significant role in the starting. One of our starters, and that's Carter Shipman. Kind of one of those guys we talked about earlier, kind of flying under the radar. He's a very talented kid, works extremely hard, and he's gonna be one of those guys that I see could just kind of break onto the scene and kind of like, where's this kid? Where's he? Where's he been hiding? Basically. So there, I have.
Can you get him off the mound for us, Coach? We don't want to see him anymore.
Well, I hope that's what it turns out to be, because he's got some really good stuff. So I'm excited for him. So I have several other kiddos that. Another one is a lefty catcher, Cale Crowley, that's going to be a junior. Actually caught for us last year quite a bit as we went through the season. Going into the season, he had no desire at all to catch. None at all. He's always caught, but mainly was an infielder, caught in summer ball. Always really, really liked how he handled himself behind the plate. And going into last year, I knew that we needed somebody. We had a couple of injuries at that position, guys that would have been in that role, and we just had the conversation like, hey, I need you to step up. This is a great time for you to get some varsity reps, get an opportunity to play. And he did a really, really good job, and actually turned out to be offensively last year one of our most productive guys from the left side of the plate. And having that varsity experience last year under his belt, I'm hoping that he just steps into this year and is just ready to own that position behind the plate and just roll with it. So, and I see him having another great season. So
that to me, Coach, I I think when you're looking at that person behind the plate, if it isn't right, if it isn't working, it affects the entire team.
Yes.
It's just that important of a role. And at the high school level, if you got one of those guys that are just can perform at that level, it changes. That makes you a top tier team. I think that if you got the talent, don't get me wrong, there's other pieces, but that guy, there's so much involved with the catcher, everything, and setting things and getting things. And if they understand their role and what their job is, then you have something, because it starts right there up the middle and how you build your defense. And that guy is so important. And I think it's interesting too. There's very few catchers as an umpire. You sometimes you go out to a high school game, and depending upon where you're at, sometimes you have a kid that's got this big arm because at this school, and his big arm, and it's like, yeah, and everybody but the catcher is not prepared or at the level he needs to be to catch that guy. And these are sometimes the dynamics in high school baseball, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. You have to have it, like you're saying, you have to have a guy that's going to be able to handle whatever's coming in. And we're blessed with some guys that can throw the baseball and throw it really well, and higher velocity guys. Drew Parsons is one of those guys, senior this year. And he'll be bringing it up there 90 plus. Carter Shipman will be another one, will be 90 plus kind of guys. Grant Brown will be pretty close to that. But we're blessed behind the plate, because I talked about Cale Crowley there, who will get a lot of the reps. But we also have Drew Parsons, who was our main guy last year, and I want him to catch this year. We've had a few conversations because he's going to SEMO to pitch, and he's a big time arm. He's going to be our number one, and he throws the ball really well. And I want to have that conversation with him. I don't want him to give up on catching, but I understand. I understand why he wouldn't want to do it, because he's a phenomenal catcher. So we have two guys that can handle behind the plate really well, and I got a third guy, junior, coming up that hasn't had any varsity experience yet, but he may get a little bit of time too. But you're right, you got to have a guy behind the plate that can handle whatever's coming in, and also be a leader. Kind of like the field general of, like, hey, they're communicating everything that's going on, and a guy that's seeing everything that's happening. So having a quality catcher behind the plate is you can't. It's just invaluable. You just have to have that if you want to be good. If you want to be able to play at a high level. So,
and if he's not prepared for that, you may lose some strikes. Some strike calls.
Yes.
It's very real. And I'm not saying trying, but if you got a blue that's flinching a little bit because he doesn't trust the guy in front of him, you can lose a pitch or two, and that could cause those are things that are, small things in the game that make differences. And I think I don't think we see it from the stands as much as you maybe see it on the field.
Yes.
But it's felt at the end of the game when, like, how did we lose that game?
Yes. You're exactly right. And if you have a catcher that's not quite polished enough, that can definitely come into play, especially in bigger games where the margins are smaller, and every pitch means a little more pressure on everything. But thankfully, we're blessed with really several catchers behind the plate that I would feel confident that if I put them back there, that they're going to be able to get us through a game pretty good. So,
talk to me about the Southeast. Doesn't get a lot of pub, but there's one conference down there that, to me, Coach, and I don't know. Sometimes it's hard because you're trying to get information, and I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know.
Okay.
But I know Scott, Mississippi. Is it Mississippi Valley or Scott, Mississippi Conference?
I think it's called Scott Miss is what they call it. So I assume it's Scott Mississippi Conference. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. So
Oran, Scott City.
yes,
That's where Kelly High School was. Thomas W. Kelly. That's where they were, according to what
yes.
my information was. So,
Well, they actually are in both conferences. They're in our conference and they're still in Scott Miss. So they play in two different conferences,
wow.
which I didn't know you could do. I didn't know you could do that. We were at our meeting a couple of weeks ago and they were talking about that. And I was like, well, I didn't. That's pretty interesting.
Because when you said Kelly, I was like, oh, I know that school. They're part of that big time. It's a smaller
Yes.
East Prairie, a really good
Yes.
Class 3 school. Chaffee. The Red
Yes.
Devils, Class 2, always right there in the mix. Really good program. Of course, Oran, if people don't know, they've been duking it out with St. Elizabeth for like the last 8 years for the state
Yes.
championship in
Yeah.
Class 1, right?
Yes. Yes. That's Orion is well, all of those schools you name, they're talented groups, talented programs, and Orion is one of those. They're always in the Final Four pretty much every year. I've talked to that coach a few times and love to get them on our schedule. Just doesn't work out a lot of times, but they do a really good job. Scott County, another really really good smaller school there. But yeah, that's a solid conference, and they have some good ball players in that conference for sure.
Because, as you said, Scott County, that's a Class 1 school.
Yeah, they're small, but they have some kids that can play. I know a few of the kids on their team.
Mm-hmm.
We've had interactions with them, and summer ball stuff, and they got some boys that can play.
Yeah,
and so you're gonna have to play well whenever they show up. So you better be ready.
Scott City is another one with the Rams down there. They had a really
Yes.
good season. I thought they were going to go, one game though. It happens.
Yep.
Do you ever think about putting teams like this on your schedule, Coach?
Yes, I do actually. I reach out every year to get the. I would love to play as many schools around us as possible, just so we don't have to travel as much. And there are years when they'll agree. There are years when they're like, "Hey, we're full," which I get it. Understand that. But we're always trying to get those smaller schools on the schedule, and just hopefully build some kind of relationship to where we can continue to play each other year after year, and keep it more where we don't have to travel so much as schools, and play some local schools. that don't always often agree, but I understand that too. So
yeah. Well, and two, you look at this, I think depth, we talk about depth a lot, difference between schools, a Class 1 school, can you play 36 games? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
You probably don't have the pitching to play 36 games. So when their schedule is full, you understand they could probably put a game on it, but not really in that respect, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're exactly right. That'd be the biggest difference is like what you said, their depth. They just don't have the amount of kids to pull from that we do, because we're such a big district. So that would be a limit, a reason why they can't play, and I completely understand that for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, that's one of the best conferences. Just when you talk about quality of baseball, the play, teams that are there year in, year out, that's one of the best conferences in the state.
It is. I agree. There's a really good group of small schools there that year in and year out are always going deep into the postseason. It seems like there's somebody from here around this area that's always in the Final Four or close to it, so it's baseball is strong in Southeast Missouri. We may be a bunch of there's a lot of small schools, but there's some kids that can play. For
Absolutely.
Sure.
And that's what I like about this, getting to looking at these conferences. I don't think, of course, most people are focused on their schools and this and that, but that's one of the things that I like about I wanted to do with Youth Baseball Midwest is bring that visual look at this conference. These guys are competing at a high level, and wasn't it Rylan Mills? Didn't he get drafted? He got drafted.
He did. I believe he went to the Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
He decided to go, so we weren't sure. We didn't know if he was actually going to go or if he was going to, go to college. But he actually went, so he's in their system right now. So I never got to. I never was able to see the young man play, but I heard he was obviously he was very, very talented. If you're getting drafted, you're pretty good. So I would have liked to see the young man play.
I got to see him once, and I paid for it. It was the semifinal this past year with Oran and St. Elizabeth, and it was an extra inning barn burner of a game.
Oh wow,
it was something else. And that kid, like I said, and that's. You don't know where. This is a Class 1 school down there. Yeah, they're a powerhouse, but here's this kid getting drafted out of Oran, Missouri, and people are like, where's that?
Exactly. You're right. If you're not in Southeast Missouri, you're not going to know you're not going to know where a lot of these places are. So that's but that was impressive. He was a good ball player.
He is
a good ball player.
Yeah, I didn't know where it was. I had to look it up on the Google map.
Yes. I think I could get there. I've been there a few times, and I think I could get there. I know kind of where it's at. So
the other one, Coach, I think it's kind of a mix down there, but again, Mineral Area Athletic Association. You got small schools, you got large schools. Arcadia Valley, Bismarck, Kingston Valley Catholic, which is down your way.
Yes, that's
West County, the West County Bulldogs. Again, a couple of programs that are constantly right there in the mix for long playoff runs.
Yeah, Valley Catholic is. I know that coach pretty well, and we haven't played at the varsity level together, but our lower levels play each other. That's a really good. He's good year in and year out, and I'll talk to him every year about getting games hooked up, and he'll kind of go into his boys and how they're doing, and it's a good group up there. He does a good job with them, and it just seems like even though they're a smaller school, year in and year out, they just have kids that can play, and they find themselves in a chance in the postseason to get back to the Final Four. Seems like on the regular basis. So he's doing a good job up there.
Well, and I think this is true of areas like this. Rule we've had these conversations with Scott McGee, with Coach, even Coach Hughes down in Nixa. Which isn't just small, but in the more rural areas, you guys have your Jackson Tribe program, the youth program. I know that Valley Catholic. And what I've talked to, they have a lot of kids that come out of that St. Genevieve River Dogs program down there.
Yes, they do.
And, Greg Drury, Tim Fowler, they've been running that, been around there for a long time. And I think it is that kind of thought process. How do you if you're going to be a small school, you have to develop those opportunities and how you play baseball the right way with the talent you have in that smaller pool. And it really does start at those ages, doesn't it, Coach?
Oh, for sure. And that's I go back to our tribe organization, and it started about, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 years ago. I don't know the exact date, but that being started and those kids developing at a young age, playing competitive baseball, being taught the correct way to play the game, has been huge for our high school program. If we didn't have that in place, our program would be in a different spot. but because we've had those kids coming up through the system and they've played at a competitive level, they've played together a lot with a lot of the kids that they go to school with. Not everybody, but a lot of them. It's made it. We've seen the fruits of that decision. I've seen it firsthand since being in the role that I'm in now. Just with the level of talent, the level of kid that when they get to the high school age, they've played so much baseball. And I tell my son this all the time. Like, you've probably played more baseball than I ever played my whole life, even, my whole college career. Like, and he's just in high school. Like, you probably already played more games than I ever did. But the youth, having a dedicated youth program that is focused on developing athletes, for a certain school or a group of schools is a game changer. And we're seeing the fruits of that now in our program, just with the talent that's coming through. We're also working at, we actually brand new facility opened up here in Jackson about a month ago. It's called the SEMO Diamond Academy. And I mean, it's another game changer for the baseball players in our area, man. It's going to be a place where kids can work rain or shine all year round. It's been something that we've dreamt about, that we've talked about, and it's finally here. So there's a lot of kids that are really excited about that. So there's some good things happening here.
Yes, I'd heard about that. Of course, the grapevine does work, right?
Yes.
And so I'd heard about that. Hopefully, we're gonna work our way down. We want to get down. We haven't been in that area for a couple of years because we were down there. Want to get by the youth program with our winter workout tour because I think it'll be fun to see. I love that stuff. We got over to Springfield and got a chance to talk with Coach Hughes and the Nixa Baseball Club, their youth program, and of course Willard.
Nice.
And I think those are things that are very interesting because, when you're in the St. Louis area, the clubs are here, and that's okay. It's still club baseball. I don't care. Yeah. And but it's just still somewhat different. Like you said, you've got kids from different schools, and a lot of the high school coaches are training kids they got to play against.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
And it's something else. So, but that shows you really, I think, the dedication of most of these coaches. They want to win. They want to go out and compete in high school and things like that. But in the end, they're working for the best interests of the athlete, them continuing to grow, get better, and reach their potential. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, Mineral area finishes up where, again, the larger schools, we talk about Central, that's Park Hills, and they've always been pretty decent. Farmington, of course, has been really good recently, especially Fredericktown. Marquard, I love the Black Cats. It's a great logo. Love that. North County, the Raiders, Potosi, they had a pretty good season last year. They got some kids. And then, of course, St. Jen, the Dragons. That's I love that, the Dragons. That is a tough, those two right there between those two divisions in that conference, there's a lot of really good schools here as well. And, you get past Festus or South County in the metro area, and all of that baseball opens up, and it's a gauntlet of small schools.
It is. You're right. It is. We have Farmington on our schedule every year, and they've been very good the past 3 years. They have a young man. I think he graduated. I hope, because he's really good on the mound, and he's dominated us twice. I think his last name was Redmond. I can't remember his first name, but he was a heck of a pitcher. But then we actually have North County on our schedule this year. We haven't played them in a while, but I've heard that they have a talented group. You run into some schools it may surprise you. You're like, I didn't know that these guys were as good as they are. They kind of surprise you a little bit. So,
yeah, I think I'd have to go look. I don't have it right in front of me, but I think you might have to deal with the Redmond kid one more year, Coach.
Is he a senior? I'm sure he is.
So,
He's the kid that's always got one more year.
right? You're just like, why are you still here?
Oh man, he's so good, and what I love about him, he's not a big kid at all. He like stature wise, he's a smaller guy, but I love his composure on the mound. He's like, I am going to beat you. He's like, this is what I got. I'm gonna throw it right down the middle. Good luck trying to hit it. He just has that. He's got that attitude and that charisma. Like, you're not gonna beat me today. And as a pitcher, that's what I want my pitchers to be that way. Like it's going to be a long day for you. And he's got it. He's got it.
I love that. Coach, I love this walk through the Southeast Missouri here. The baseball's going to be good. I think we're going to be right back to it.
Yes.
I think with the talent you have, I'm not going to do too many spoiler alerts here, but I think you got a chance to be a top 10 club, and and then when you get there,
yes,
it's just like, well, let's see what we got, and
yes,
just time to go compete at that point, right?
Exactly. Like I said before, we have. I agree with you. We have a talented group. We have the pieces to make a really deep run. It just depends on how it all works out. Baseball can be crazy sometimes, and hopefully we keep everybody healthy. We have several of our boys that play football, and we got a big game on Saturday. We play CBC for the quarterfinal. But as long as we stay healthy, we should make a good run in the spring.
Well, that shows you really how much talent and athleticism that's your school. I know because some of your kids are playing football and whatnot, and you guys are one of those teams that just kind of goes out and bludgeons people on the football field, aren't you?
Yeah, the football programs they're pretty tough, and they're having a heck of a season this year, and it's going to be. I know CBC's really good as well. But it's going to be fun to watch on Saturday. It's down here at the pit here in Jackson, so there'll probably be 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people there. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
That's some serious Friday Night Lights, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's going to be a fun weekend. So.
Well, good luck to you guys. Hey, everybody! Look, Coach Roach, Josh Roach from Jackson, Coach. It's always a pleasure. We look forward to having you back on when we can.
All right. Thank you very much. And again, I appreciate you letting us talk about Jackson baseball.
Absolutely. Why not? It's good. Good stuff. Hey, folks, appreciate you tuning in. Hit the subscribe button down there. Hit the like. That all helps the algorithm, keeps us moving out into the YouTube land. And so folks can get a look at what we're doing. We appreciate that very much. YBM Club there. You want to be a legacy member, 50% off. Please go check it out. We got some great discounts from our partners, and we're going to be adding one here for too long. We'll let you know what's coming up there. We're adding another partner with some discounts, all baseball related. So if you're a baseball mom and dad, you got kids playing baseball, this is the place to be. Join the club here at Youth Baseball Midwest. Go to youthbaseballmidwest.com. Go to the YBM Club. Sign up today. We do appreciate it. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day in the Lord. Pitchers. Coach, you got some advice for pitchers, right?
Oh, always get advice for pitchers. Throw strikes. 60% strike percentage or more. First pitch strikes. We love them. Just throw strikes. Makes the world a lot better.
All you hitters, try and hit the strike.
Just, swing at good pitches.
There you go. We'll see y'all next time.